Samples of 4 metals A, B, C and D were taken and added to the following solution one by one. The results obtained have been tabulated as follows. So first A is added to a solution of iron sulphate, then to the solution of copper sulphate, then zinc sulphate and then silver nitrate. These are the 4 solutions. First A is added to all these 4 solutions, then B, then C and then D. And the observations were noted. Now it can be seen that A shows no reaction with iron sulphate, but it shows displacement reaction with copper sulphate. B shows displacement reaction with iron sulphate. Then C displacement reaction with silver nitrate, and D no reaction. It does not react with any of these solutions. Now if any metal M reacts with any salt, for example take copper salt CuSO4, and it displaces copper from its salt, means if you get the sulphate of the metal, so metal displaced copper from its sulphate and it formed the sulphate, metal sulphate was formed and metallic copper is deposited. So what has happened, this metal has displaced copper from its salt forming metal sulphate and now metallic copper is deposited. So in this kind of reaction it will be said that the metal is more reactive than copper. This is a single displacement reaction, and metal which displaces the other metal from its salt is said to be more reactive than the metal which was present in the salt. So here metal M is more reactive than copper. Now 4 kinds of salt are taken. One is iron sulphate, then another one is copper sulphate, then zinc sulphate and then silver nitrate. So the reactivity order of these metals is: zinc is more reactive than iron, iron is more reactive than copper, and copper is more reactive than silver. So going down from zinc to iron, the reactivity decreases. Means zinc is more reactive than iron, means zinc displaces iron from its salt. Zinc is more reactive than copper, so it will displace copper from its salt. Zinc is more reactive than silver, means zinc will displace silver from its salt. So the most reactive metal is present at the top here is zinc. Then iron. Iron is more reactive than copper and silver. Copper is more reactive than silver. Now A shows displacement reaction with copper sulphate, means when A reacts with copper sulphate, it forms metallic copper and sulphate of A is formed. So it can be said that A is more reactive than copper. So A must be lying above copper in the reactivity series. Then B shows displacement reaction with iron sulphate. Means when B reacts with FeSO4, it forms sulphate of B and iron is deposited. So it can be said that B is more reactive than iron. Then C shows displacement reaction with silver nitrate. So C is more reactive than silver. D does not show any reaction, means D is the least reactive metal present. Its reactivity is less than silver. So the reactivity of D is less than the least reactive metal in this series, which is silver. So D must be lying somewhere below silver. Now the questions. First, which is the most reactive metal? So most reactive metal is B. Then what would you observe if B is added to a solution of copper sulphate? Since B is more reactive than copper, B is lying above copper in this series. So B is more reactive than copper. So B will displace copper from copper sulphate. So B plus copper sulphate, you will get sulphate of B and metallic copper will be deposited. So this is the answer to the second question. Now third question, arrange the metals A, B, C and D in the order of decreasing reactivity. So B is the most reactive metal, then A, then C and least reactive is D.